Hey, this is Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
You can put it on the board. Yes! Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA prime Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you taste their best-in-class New York steaks, the filet mignon, of course, the king of all, those gigantic cowboy cut and tomahawk cut ribeyes. Best I've ever had, probably be the best you ever have as well. Check them out at UppercutChops.com. That's UppercutChops.com. Or give them a call, find out what's for dinner. 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100 for UppercutChops.com. Yes! That's great stuff. If you don't like a big steak, why are you watching this? Nah, just playing. All right, a big welcome to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates and independents from coast to coast. Everybody watching on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Time Warner, Wow Cable Television. Also, on social media, on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. You can't get away from us, even Hotel TV in over 500,000 rooms from coast to coast. Here with a very special guest. We're going to, in fact, let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
Hi, Brian Urlacher, joining Sal today. Happy to be on. Love the sound effects, by the way, by the uppercut stage. That was great.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, Ringmaster.
Listen, man, it's a circus, and I prove it every day. All right. Good stuff. Hey, Brian, man, thanks for joining us. You know, we've been talking about this for a little while. Let's not timestamp this so we can kind of play this again at some other point when, you know, people are kind of falling asleep and maybe the dog days of summer or something like that, right? They get tired of watching our baseball teams in Chicago because they both stink, you know, something like that. I don't know. So give them something to laugh about. Anyway, Brian, welcome in. It's been a while. And, I see a lot of footballs behind you. Tell everybody about those footballs.
Oh, yeah. Those are the game balls some of the game balls that I received when I was playing for the Chicago Bears. So you get a game ball by either when we win, there's an offensive game player, a defensive game player, and a special teams player. So those are the ones, a few of the ones that I was able to receive when I was in Chicago. Also picks, fumbles, touchdowns, stuff like that. Special footballs. Here, you know what? How about this? There's not all of them. Let's get more so we can. So it's not everyone like, you only got like 3 game balls. There's more. See, there we go.
Just a couple of game balls up there, right?
Yes, just a couple. This is the only spot I have in my house that I can actually hang out and have my stuff in there. So it's cool.
All right. Well, I have to say that it's a cool room, and everybody's got their man caves. Everybody wants a man cave or whatever the hell it is. But you have one with all these cool footballs in it, too, which I think is kind of cool, man. I mean, a lot of people don't really get that.
Yeah, I used to have a room in Chicago, all my jerseys, all my game balls, all my buddies' jerseys, and then we moved to Arizona for good, and those all just went into storage. So I'm limited to this little space back here. We downsized houses. We needed to.
Yeah, you know what? I recently did that myself. I went to literally half the square footage that I had before, and I feel like I'm in this little cracker box now, but it's not that small, but it's almost like being in, I don't know, a little cave. Right. But at the same time, at some point, I mean, look, I don't have a big family and all that. I come from a big family, but I don't have that. So I don't need all the space. Yeah. I mean, you need an extra house for all your footballs.
No, they'll fit in the storage room, too. It's not that big of a deal. But we went down to a third of the space that we had in Chicago. And the kids are all gone now. They're all in college. So it's now it's getting a little bigger than we need for my wife and I. So we'll see what happens next in our house ventures.'t see what we do from here.
Yeah. Okay. So you have 3 kids? All right.
3. Yep. 23, 19, 18.
Doesn't one of them play football?
So, well, the girls don't play football, but my son plays football. Yeah, my son's he just reported to Notre Dame in January for football and school. More importantly, school, but he is on the football team as well.
All right. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, man, listen, education first and foremost. You know, a lot of these people a lot of these kids in high school. I've been an academic recruiter for one of my graduate schools for a long time. And they'd say, well, you know, I may have a great career playing professional sports. I'm like, yeah, but then again, you may not. And what are you going to do after that? You better have a good education.
Yeah, football is such a small part of your life, right? And if you're lucky enough to make a career out of it, that's great. But even that, you're going to retire at 30 or 31. You're still going to have 35, 40 years of, living ahead of you before you get, to your retirement age. So you're going to need to find something to do in that time. Fortunately, I played till I was, I think, 34. Not getting too bored yet being retired, so it's good. But yeah, I told my son to get that, especially that Notre Dame degree. That's a pretty good one to have right there.
It is, and I poke at him a lot because I'm a undergrad. I went to Purdue, right? So there's always that ongoing thing, right? Yeah, boiler up.
Purdue.
And say, hey, why do you got to be like that? Come on, man. Come on.
Really? They got a good one this weekend for the.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you know a little bit something about basketball. You played basketball in your former life, didn't you?
Yeah, I played when I was, all the way through high school. I would have much rather played basketball further on than football because I thought I was, I liked it more, but I was better at football. So easy choice to play football because I got a scholarship, so that was a no-brainer.
Right. How come not at Texas Tech? What were they thinking? It's so close to where you're living, right?
Yeah, so I grew up 70 miles from Lubbock, which is where Texas Tech is, in New Mexico, though. Went to their camp, summer before my senior year, most outstanding camper, so I'm like, they're definitely going to offer me a scholarship. They told me I could walk on, couldn't afford that, so UNM offered me a scholarship. That was, like I said, no-brainer. So I went there. It was the only full scholarship offer I had at the time, so it was a pretty simple decision for me to go there. It worked out great, too.
Yeah, this program's carried on KTXT. In fact, we started that last year with their school. So we're offering some of the interns the opportunity to be on Raider Radio, right? Texas Tech
Awesome.
Radio, which is kind of cool. So we like to do things for the universities, and we do feature student athletes as well. So what we'll do is we'll bring on the student athlete, and then let's just say hypothetically it's a kid that's playing somewhere on the defensive line, whatever it is, maybe first or second level, right? And then we'll match him up with somebody that played that or is playing that in the league. And so this way they kind of get some on-air time to ask whatever questions they want. And a lot of times that has led to other kids having the opportunity to do what? To form a relationship, a trusting one, with somebody at the next level that they may not have.
Well, it's nice that kind of have that mentor, maybe someone you look up to who's been there and done it, and been in your position and knows what you're doing right now. It's nice to have someone to talk to and kind of been in the area a little bit because you don't know what you're in for. When you get to the next level, it's just it's totally different than what you think it's going to be.
Right. And it doesn't matter what sport you're playing. It's the same argument, right? There's nobody really to show you the ropes, so to say, to deal with the emotional highs and lows. And I can tell you this from facing adversity back in the day when I was throwing a baseball. As a pitcher, I said, what I've got to do is I got to strike the world out because I don't have any confidence in the 7 guys behind me, which really stunk. But as you go on and you take that mentality and you go up to the next level, we had to face adversity back then. But in today's game, and we've seen this in a lot of sports, a lot of the rule changes. I want to get into that with you in the next segment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rule changes, whether it's this sport or that sport. And it's almost like the sports are being dumbed down. It's my opinion. It's my program. I can say whatever the hell I want to with that.
Right.
I believe the sports have been dumbed down. It's so everybody gets some kind of a trophy, which is lunacy in the first place. Hey, like Ricky Bobby says, either you're first or last.
If you ain't first or last.
That's right.
The rules change so much now. But even now they got all these new NFL rules coming out, the kickoffs, the tackling. I have no idea what the tackling rule is. I don't understand. You tackle a guy, how you tackle him. I don't understand. There's a certain way you can do it now. It's really getting frustrating to watch these games and try and keep up with the rules as they implement them. Every season they change them or they put an emphasis in the preseason on the refs are going to call this year. Well, how about you just call what you see and not what you're putting an emphasis on? If you see holding, call holding. If you see that, call that. But if you don't see it, don't call it. Don't just call it because you're putting an emphasis on it. It's a joke. There's just too much stuff. Just let them play football.
It's ridiculous. And I was talking to one of my buddies about this earlier today, and he was playing at the same time as you. It's Tyrone Poole. Tyrone's been with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for a couple of years. Tyrone's been around. He's a very, very good friend. He's like a little brother. I mean, he's a smaller guy, so I can actually say he's like a little brother to me. But Tyrone is, as a former corner, he was telling me today about, there's a rule change where you can't tackle by the waist anymore. I'm like, wait a minute, you're a little guy.
It's like the hip drop rule or something, or hip drop.
What the hell is that?
I don't know what it means. I have no idea. I have zero idea what that means or how you're going to enforce it or call it. I mean, why don't they? Here's what I don't understand, Sal. They review everything in the game. They review fumbles, picks, touchdowns, if you're down or not. Why can't you review if it's a legal hit or not?
Right.
Because in the games, the refs have all the leeway with that. They call it, and whatever they say goes. Why can't you review it? Because most of those hits aren't illegal. So why not review those and pick up the flag? Because it's maybe the big hits that they think because they happen so fast they're penalties, but they're actually not when you look at review. Mm-hmm. So why not review them, pick the flag up, and go back? It's dumb to me these guys get these 15-yard penalties for no reason.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I tell you what, we're going to hold that thought because when we come back from break, I want to kind of dive into this, whatever this hip tackle nonsensical rule is. I mean, that
Don't
is
know
just
what that looks like.
The stupidest thing that I've ever heard. I tell you what, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about that. We're going to continue on with Hall of Famer, the great Brian Urlacher from the Chicago Bears. And I can say that because I'm a local guy from Chicago. Of course, I have to do that. And of course, by the way, more Hall of Famers from the Bears organization than any other organization. Back here in just a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come here on all of our affiliates. Pick your favorite network. Back in a few minutes. I'm your Ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime, nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it on here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-296-1209. 800-296-1209. That's 800-296-1209.
Do you know someone with a drug or alcohol problem? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything. Stop the drug and alcohol nightmare. Are drug and alcohol problems hitting you too close to home? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything.
800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. That's 800-831-1560. Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. That's 800-932-5517.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UppercutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UppercutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UppercutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door, without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average and best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at UppercutChops.com or call 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. Or make your selection directly at UppercutChops.com.
back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
Thank you, Roy, and welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Folks, this segment brought to you in part by the Sports Circus. Make sure you check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guests, our prior guests, our recorded shows, which are our podcasts. No, we don't do a podcast. That just happens to be where they're stored. The raw files are there, so you never know what the hell's going to happen. Anyway, check those out, and if you go on one of those listening binges for about maybe 5 months, you can listen to all of the shows back to back as time goes on. Also, make sure you check out the partners page. One of those great partners, been with us since the very beginning. Hell, 8 years ago. That's the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com for upcoming games and events at csncoyotes.com for the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Yes! All right. Welcome back to everybody on television, radio. You know who you are. Back here with Brian Urlacher, Pro Football Hall of Famer, lots of footballs behind him, lots of great stories. And in the last segment, Brian, we were talking a little bit about this tackling thing, this new rule. Now, I don't really know much about it, but Tyrone Poole had explained it to me and said, apparently, you can't grab a player and put your weight on them and drag them down. Well, how the heck are you supposed to tackle them if you're like, he's a little guy at 190 pounds in his playing weight. Yeah. Maybe you've got a guy like Jerome Bettis coming through. Well, how the heck are you going to tackle him?
You're not gonna. I think I understand what you're saying. Like when you grab them and just like throw your weight on their lower half, probably is what it is. Mm-hmm. But that's just grab them and hold on, right? And hopefully someone shows up to tackle them. I don't like that rule. For the DBs and guys like that, there's already a small enough zone they can tackle them in anyway, hitting zone. Now you're gonna make it even harder for them to tackle the guys. I don't like it. It makes it harder for defense. You know, more like just like normal. More rules for the offense because you want to see more points scored.
Why is that? Why is everything offense? Whatever happened to going and seeing a dominant defensive game, which is just as fun? Take the 85 Bears, right? That's kind of like the gold standard, right?
I'm going to say as a fan now, it's more fun to watch points scored. I hate saying it, but it's fun when their teams actually score. You know, you get those games like 13-7 or 13, you're like, man, what a boring game. So now I understand why the NFL wants points because now, as a former player and mostly a fan now, I get it. It's fun when they score a lot of points. Not a lot, but the Super Bowl was great for me. I like that was an exciting game. Good defense, but also some good offense as well at certain points in the game.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's sort of a conundrum because, I mean, I love a good offense like everybody else, but I want to see a balanced attack. I don't want to see throw, pass. Frankly, it gets a little bit boring to me. What do you think?
I agree, but that's the way the game's going now, right? That's a lot of teams throw those short passes as part of their running game, the extended running game, the little swing passes, the reverses, and jet sweep to the receivers. That's a way to get the defense off balance a little bit, I guess. And if you're not as physical, that's a way to get the ball on the edge, in the perimeter. But they're going away from the power rows, the counters, the tosses, stuff like that. It's mostly gets the ball outside to your receivers and let them run.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, look, I get it. But to me, I want to see a little bit of balance. I want to see some hard hitting. And we don't even see hard hitting anymore because you can't really hit hard anymore because you'll get a flag for everything.
You know, San Fran's pretty balanced. They run the ball pretty darn well, and they're all their stuff looks the same, man. That offense is so – I'm glad I'm not playing right now because that'd be hard to defend with all the misdirection stuff they do and the running game. They either hand it off or throw it or play actions. It's Miami, same way. You know, they do all the same thing as well. But it's a lot of misdirection that makes you read your keys and know where your gap is every play.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the games and I say, all right, look, I want to see some balance, but at the same time, I want to see a running game as well as a passing game. Give me something. Give me some variety instead of seeing the same thing over and over. It's tiring to me. I like it, but at the same time, give me something, man. I want to see something that says, hey, look, I know I'm not going to see a pass, right? And that's just, I mean, give me some great special teams and that we see special teams rules on top of it. I have to ask you this because you played both sides of the ball and special teams, right? What is it that the league is thinking? Come on, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last question. Sorry.
What is the league thinking with this? Where would you rather play, on the offense or the defense in today's game?
Oh, I'd rather be an offensive player. You don't get hit. there's too many rules against the defense. There's too many ticky-tack. If you're a DB, how do you guard a guy anymore? I'd much rather play offense because you can't get hit. Now you can't get tackled, I guess, with the new rules a certain way. So I'd rather be an offensive player because there's a much bigger advantage on that side of the football, I believe, rules-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see the way that the game has been going, the way the game's called, and it seems like the referees have way too much power, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. They can sway a game. It's crazy. We watch a lot of football around here, and if it's 3rd and 10 or longer, there's going to be a defensive penalty. There's going to be a illegal contact, a holding. It never fails. It's always at a critical moment in the game where they need to stop and, oh, look, there's a defensive holding or whatever. I don't know how that works, but they seem to time it out pretty well every game.
Why is that? It's kind of like how the odds makers seem to get it just
always got that
right.
line. They always, the over-under is perfect. The line's set perfectly, and somehow in the games they always come down to that. I don't know how that works out, so it's just weird. I don't know. I don't get it.
It is remarkably consistent.
Well, good word. Yeah, that's a nice way to put it, I guess. But yeah, I think the refs have too much control of the games. That's what I think. I think they can sway a game either direction they want to very easily, and it's pretty apparent when you're watching when they do that.
Well, I mean, look, I live here in Las Vegas, and I see stuff. I don't know nothing. I mean, I grew up where I grew up. My father grew up on Taylor Street in Chicago's Little Italy. So, and on a recent episode, in fact, just yesterday, we had our good friends, of course, from Al's #1 Italian Beef. Yes! We always give them a plug
Great
at
spot.
1079 West Taylor Street over there. And by the way, check them out at alsbeef.com just because you can. And get yourself a nice big belly full of Italian beef. And if you don't know what it is, you better go learn about it. Brian, let's talk about food for a minute, because when you were,
yeah, sign me up.
I know, right? When you were playing, did you have a special diet? Were there dietitians? Were there nutritionists? What'd you have?
Horrible. Yeah, the diet was eat as much as you can and try and stay under a certain weight. I guess after about year 4 or 5, I figured out I probably need to eat a little bit better. Rusty Jones came in, our strength coach, and kind of straightened out my diet a little bit, but I didn't have restrictions. As long as I was under 255 and under 7% body fat, I could eat what I wanted to, and I did. But I love food, man. I was a big foodie. Chicago food's the greatest. Pizza, steaks, Italian food, everything. We got it there. I was very fortunate. That's what I missed the most about Chicago, living in Arizona, is the food.
What's the best Italian beef in Chicago?
Al's.
Yes!
Duh, not even close.
But hey, listen, we're going to take that soundbite and we're going to send it over to Bones over there on Taylor Street. What's the best pizza in Chicago?
Aurelio's for me.
For you. All right, that's good.
For me is Aurelio. I love Aurelio's. So good.
All right, we'll give that to you. That's fine. Hey, listen, I'm an equal opportunity host, right? When it comes to this, it's
Yes,
okay.
that's right.
Everybody's got their favorites, and there's nothing wrong with the favorites. Okay, best steak in town.
I can only pick one? Just one.
Just one.
Man, I don't think that's fair because there's so many good steak restaurants.
No,
You got
just one.
Gibson's, Joe's, Chicago Cut. You got Valari Italian. I mean, all right, I'll pick Gibson's. I'll take Gibson's in. I'll make it easy. I'll take Gibson's.
Okay, you got Gibson's. All right.
I love
good.
Gibson's. It's fun, good atmosphere too.
There are so there's so much good food, and that's the one thing that people don't seem to get. They say, well, this place has great food. No, Chicago is almost like the food capital of the United States. I really believe it is.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, you could take me to a different restaurant for 2 weeks straight, and I still wouldn't get tired of the food. And they're all great. It's fun.
What about hot dogs?
I'm not a Chicago dog guy. Call me what you will. I like ketchup on my hot dog, and that's
No!
Portillo's hot dogs.
Okay.
Sorry. I grew up in New Mexico, not Chicago, okay? So
I
I
know.
grew up eating ketchup on my hot dogs or mustard, and that was it.
That's okay, man. I'll give you
And
a pass on that.
I like Pizza Hut too, Sal, so be even more mad.
If you're
I love
desperate,
Pizza Hut.
listen. If you're desperate, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm
Sound
not gonna.
effects.
I'm not gonna blow up all of your stuff because only some of
That's
it.
okay.
Just because I could blow
I'm okay
some of
with
it
it.
up, I will. I've got a lot of sounds here, but nonetheless,
I see that.
Why? Because we can. But I do like the fact that, look, even this page, this is kind of fun. So for all of our people that are watching this, even on Chicago Food Favorites on Facebook, Yes, right now we're streaming this show to everybody there. And if they want to send me a question, send it in or call 714-948-0100, 714-948-0100. If you want to ask Brian Urlacher a question, or if you just want to say that I look good because I shaved today, if you know what I mean. But nonetheless, no, you can ask a question. But Brian, this is the only page that I know of. It's a food page. Put your favorite foods up there, whatever. Share recipes. It's the only one I know that gets national coverage on CBS, NBC, Fox affiliates of independents, whatever, television. It's just for fun. There's no money involved. Nobody gives a damn. It's just for fun. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun with food.
Fun and food.
What's wrong with fun and food, right? We do cigars for charity, right? We'll talk about that in the next segment.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So since we do those, and of course I still have a pile of these things, I kind of give them away to my friends and family. Do you smoke cigars?
I don't. No, I tried one time when I turned 21, but I've never got into it.
Yeah, same here. I take them in our last 30 seconds of the segment.
I collect a lot at the cigars party, but right. I don't know. I don't smoke. I give them, I hand them out. People are really appreciative when I give them one of those cigars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's a good one, what's a bad one, but a lot of people like them. And, they get kind of expensive, too, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Really expensive.
Buddy, I wouldn't know a great one to a bad one if you put it in front of me. The same thing with wine. I don't know what's a good wine or a bad wine. It does, to me, it's...
Same here.
It doesn't even register on my scale. All right, folks, we're going to be back here with Brian Urlacher, Pro Football Hall of Famer from the Chicago Bears, in just a few moments here at the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere. I'm your Ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime, nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it on here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportcircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
Do you know someone with a drug or alcohol problem? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything. Stop the drug and alcohol nightmare. Are drug and alcohol problems hitting you too close to home? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything.
800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. That's 800-831-1560.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-950-2049. 800-950-2049. 800-950-2049. For the last time, that's 800-950-2049.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-296-1209. 800-296-1209.
Do you know someone with a drug or alcohol problem? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything. Stop the drug and alcohol nightmare. Are drug and alcohol problems hitting you too close to home? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything.
800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. That's 800-831-1560.
everybody. This is Brian Urlacher. Welcome back to the Sports Circus. This segment brought to you by Ditka's Gridiron Greats. If you don't know what that is, it's a great foundation that provides basically a lot of needs for retired football players who didn't play in today's game, who played back in the day, who don't have a lot, didn't make the money they're making now. And Coach Ditka's created a foundation for them where they can get some benefits from the things that he does for them. So it's a great foundation. Check it out if you get a chance.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, you can find that at gridirongreats.org.
You probably know better than I would. I'm not good at remembering stuff like that.
That's okay. gridirongreats.org. Boy, that's great stuff. What
Yes.
a great organization. You know, Brian, they've been around for a long time, doing a lot of good for a lot of the former players and their families. And I mean, the stories, there's countless stories. You know what I mean?
My insurance runs out this year. And I've been retired for 12 years, and it's much better now than it was for the guys when they played back in the day because they have no insurance. So what that assistance fund does is it provides them maybe some insurance, some funding to take care of their ailments because they have a lot worse ailments than those players now have because they went through it a little bit worse than we did. But, yeah, there's not a lot of insurance for those guys. It's a bad deal that Dick is trying to help them out with if he can.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing, with all the money from the TV contracts from the league, you would think that something, a little sliver, would maybe go to help those guys that kind of made the game great, if you know what I mean.
They paved the way for what the game is now. You know, back when you could actually play football and hit people, they took advantage of that. They may have gone a little too far with that back in the day. Yeah, it's too bad that there's not like something set up for the NFL for them, right? Because they do make a lot of money. There's billions and billions of dollars being made by the owners, the NFL. They're all doing well. I do believe they can set a sliver aside per year for a fund for these players who don't have insurance. Some don't have homes. They're trying to do things to get them back on their feet.
And, you know, there's been this constant divide because it seems like the league has gotten really bent out of shape with some of the players that have been concussed. And they're trying to go get some medical help about it. Like, oh, no, we can't talk about that. We're taboo. We're going to go ahead and ban them or excommunicate them from their teams and da-da-da. It just seems like that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know about the concussion thing. I'm not on board with the rules. They set a guy out for 3 weeks if he gets a concussion. I'm not on board with that. You know, when I played, I got one concussion. I missed 2 plays. I went back in the game. If that happened now, you'd miss 2 or 3 games. That's just, and I get it, safety, this and that. I got it. I have to agree with it, but I understand it, and that's just the way the game is now. But there are some guys who take advantage of the rule. I do believe that there's some guys who might benefit more than they should from doing that little extracurricular concussions or whatever they're called.
Right. All right. So switching from football, look, we could do football until the cows come home. They ain't never coming home. What about golf? Talk to me about golf.
So I love my favorite sport. I can watch golf every day of the week, man. High school, college, professional, women's, men's, I don't care. I love watching golf on TV. And I love playing golf. That's one of the big reasons why we live here in Arizona. I play golf 5 days a week. Usually don't play on the weekends, but I play pretty much every day of the week. It's a great game. It's a great way for me to stay competitive. You know, I can play with my buddies. We can have a little game. And you're also competing against yourself because you're never going to be as good as you want to be.
Right. And, you know, I have to tell you, I am one of the world's worst golfers because I don't do it. I just don't do it. I mean,
it takes so much practice. It's hard.
It's really hard. And so there's a place that I go to here in Las Vegas, and I always call it the gravel pit. Because it's one of the public courses. There's all kinds of debris and crap on the greens and whatnot. But let me tell you something. 2 weeks ago when I played, I went with my old producer, Colonel Bucky. And it was Colonel Bucky, right? So he was it's a par 3. And so I tee off and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm about 45 foot from the hole. I'm like, oh, okay, for me, that's a great shot. I'm like, all right.
If you're putting, it's a good shot.
Yeah, right. Okay, so, and it was kind of a tougher hole. But what I noticed was, like, I said, you know, there's a lot of stuff on there. I thought, I'm not going to do any housekeeping. Nah, I'm just going to leave it out there. What's the worst that can happen? I'll end up two putting it anyway. What's the difference? And I actually dropped it in there. When I putted it, the ball was going on a zigzag. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was right out of a cartoon. And I actually sunk it. I mean, that was, for me, that was probably the best putt I've ever had outside of playing the miniature golf courses, right? Nice round of applause.
Good job. Congratulations.
Right. Thank you very much.
There's nothing better than making a birdie or having. That's what keeps you coming back to golf. When you hit a good shot or when you play a memorable hole or a nice 9, whatever it is, it's what keeps me coming back besides the competitive part of it. I love the game. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I played once in Arizona. I remember it was before It was before was it 2 years ago? The Dick Jaws thing over there, and I think I played.
Last year we had the Super Bowl here, so it was last year.
Yeah, last year, and I think isn't there a course? I think a small course called Angel Fire.
There is, yes.
Yeah, that's the one I played at.
That's what.
Yeah,
there's a million courses out here, by the way. The valley's full of them. I mean, it's a great destination for golf, but there are a lot of nice courses here in Arizona, for sure.
Yeah. Now, living in Arizona, is it kind of comfortable like when you were growing up in New Mexico? Kind of a similar climate. Is this something that you really enjoy a lot more than being in the Four Seasons?
I just love the weather. Yeah, I mean, the Four Seasons is nice. It's nice to go spend. How about this? I'll take the fall in Chicago, and I'll take the rest of the year here in Arizona. How about that? Even the summers. I don't mind the summers.
Really?
There's nobody here. There's nobody here in the summer. The golf courses are wide open. There's nobody on them. You can play in 2.5, 3 hours. I'm losing 5 pounds a round because I'm sweating my butt off the whole time, so it's great.
Right.
And then I would take the fall in Chicago, though. I love September, October there. Sign me up for that. But I love the rest of the year here.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, getting out there when it's $120 outside. Yeah, you're going to sweat a little bit. But then again, you're going to be the only one out there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, drink your water and stay in your. I mean, the wind's always blowing. You're always going to have a breeze. It doesn't feel bad. It's not humid. I don't like humidity. That's for sure. Unless I'm in Florida, then I love it. But it's not that bad. I enjoy it.
That's not so bad. I mean, over here we're 10 degrees cooler in this valley because we're the high desert, right? And the only plants that are native here are none. Maybe desert scrub, right?
The saguaro, the old saguaro cactus.
We don't even get those because that's where you're at 500 foot and below in elevation. We're at 2,300. Nothing grows here. Nothing.
What about you get tumbleweeds? I think that's our state plant in New Mexico is a tumbleweed.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Yeah, those things have been blown over from the next state. Yeah, they're
everywhere.
Yeah, we don't really get even the Joshua tree grow at about 2,700 feet. So we're screwed. Okay. We have nothing here.
You're kind of in the middle there. You got nothing.
That's we really have nothing. But it is very scenic though. Lots of colors and whatnot, and it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
And every time you turn around, if you can't find something to do here in Las Vegas Monday through Friday or Saturday, and we already know about Saturday and Sunday.
Any
if you can't find anything to do here. Yeah, just go move. Go do something else.
Yeah, get out of there because there's always something to do there.
Besides playing golf, what's your favorite thing to do?
Fish.
Yes! All right, that's good stuff. Do you like to go deep sea fishing or do you like to go...
Deep sea.
Yes!
Deep sea. This is my boat, the Line Breaker. So we have a boat down in Naples, Florida. We've had it what was our second boat? Bought the first one in 2009. Bought the next one in 2018. 42-foot yellowfin. Got 4 350s on the back, so it runs pretty quick, and we get offshore and we fish, and we no phones. It's the best thing. Like once you get 10 miles offshore, your phone doesn't work. So when my kids go on the boat, I have them, right? They're not texting, they're not doing this. They're fishing. We're talking. We're listening to music. We're eating. It's my favorite thing to do.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, Brian, we've got a couple of minutes left in this segment here, and I know you've got to go. If there's anything else you want to get out there, promote, talk about, whatever, go ahead, take the floor for a minute or so. And if you don't, that's okay. Just shake your head no.
I don't have anything. I'm not a big promoter. I don't have a lot going on. What I did was, I'll tell you what. I went to the border twice this year to see what's going on down at our border in Yuma, just to visit with the agents and kind of give them some support. Man, they need all the support they can get. They're going through tough times right now. So if you get a chance, or if you see a Border Patrol agent, tell them you appreciate it because those guys are going through it right now. They've had they get a bad rap, but those guys we appreciate the work they do. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, those guys are really working hard, and the ladies too. Yeah,
all of them. Yeah,
that crew, boy, they really have their hands full, and there's nobody doing anything about it.
No, it's wide open. We saw 25 guys walk across in the hour we were there. We saw they just walk across, and all their agents can do is process them because that's what the administration says to do. So that's what they process them, they get them in, and that's it. So they're not doing their jobs; they're just processing people.
Yeah, as soon as they process them. In our last minute here, and as soon as they process them, Brian, you know what they're doing? Here's a free telephone. Here's some free money. Here's a free airline ticket to somewhere else. I almost feel like maybe I should go across the border, then come back in, then I'll get a bunch of free stuff.
If you end up in New York, you get $10,000 ATM card. So maybe try and get up to New York, you get your little card there, some free bread, and let's go back to Vegas. But after you get your 10K.
Show me the money!
I love it. I love
That's
those.
ridiculous. Oh,
yes.
I don't know. Well, listen, when you come back, when you have a little bit more time, we'll go ahead and have some laughs. And you're always welcome back on here. What the hell? We'll just have
Appreciate
some
it.
laughs.
Thanks, Sal. That was a good talk, man. You're a funny guy. I like your little buttons you're always pressing over there.
Hey, the buttons are part of my gig, if you know what I mean.
You're doing a good job.
All right, and I like to push other people's buttons. When I get out there, I'll give you a holler. We'll go have some pizza. We'll go have some laughs. Don't go golfing with me. You'll be very, very frustrated.
We're not going to golf. We're going to eat pizza.
We're going to eat pizza. All right, folks, that's the great Brian Urlacher. All right, Brian, we'll see you next time here on the Sports Circus. Brian's a lot of fun. All right, we're going to be back here in just a few minutes on the circus. Folks, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to pop in here, but it's always a good time. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime, nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it on here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. That's 800-932-5517.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 800-335-7196. 800-335-7196.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UppercutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UppercutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UppercutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door, without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average and best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at UppercutChops.com or call 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. Or make your selection directly at UppercutChops.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. This segment brought to you in part by the Sports Circus. Make sure to check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guests, our prior guests, our recorded shows, and of course, make sure you check out some of those partners. Lots of great partners over there. One of those partners is Al's #1 Italian Beef, 1079 West Taylor Street in Chicago's Little Italy. Get over there and get yourself some great sandwiches. And I'll tell you what, folks, tell them the circus sent you. Who knows? Maybe they'll give you an extra bag of fries or something. Who the hell knows? I don't know. It's not any kind of promo. I'm not plugging it other than the fact that I like it. It's good stuff. And if you can't get over there, go to alsbeef.com, www.alsbeef.com, and pick up your Italian beef there, or on goldbelly.com. Just type in Al's Beef and it'll come up with all these wonderful options. And make sure you pick one of them because you won't be dissatisfied. That's for damn sure. Boy, that's good stuff. Yes! All right. And welcome back to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates, including our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA. All of our affiliates up and down the West Coast, thanks for joining us, even here in Las Vegas, LA, San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle, whatever. We're everywhere there. Also, big hello to our friends over in Auburn, Alabama, WAUD, and that's home of the Atlanta Braves. Nice round of applause for them, of course, as well as WDJY 99.1 FM over in Atlanta and everybody else. Boy, we just had Brian Urlacher on the show for the last few segments. Brian's one of those guys that, you can go hang out with. He's a fun guy. He's a good guy. You like him. And how do you not like him? He's just one of those guys you want to hang out with and just, I don't know, chew the fat. Talk about football, basketball, golf, life, pizza, you name it, all of that stuff. Boy, it's all good stuff. Tell you what, folks, that is one hell of a dude, and can't wait to go out and have a pizza and an adult beverage with him as well down in Arizona. But he's just one of those guys that's just a real guy. And, some people give political answers. He doesn't give political answers because he's not the political kind of guy. And those are the kind of guests that we always enjoy having come right back to the Sports Circus. That's for damn sure. All right, how about this? So we did talk a little bit about rule changes, and some of the rule changes, this is nuts. So let's just kind of run down these real quick. Now, one of those happens to be, it says, the coaches can make a third-party challenge. Oh, yes. If either of their first two challenges, not a third party, but a third replay challenge, if either of their two challenges are successful. So not just both of them, but it's one of them. So basically you get a grand total of 3, even if you get one good, one bad. I'm not really sure how that one works. So what does that really look like? You ask yourself, well, all right, maybe, let's just say maybe, there is there's a call that you just didn't like that happened on the field. And you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and challenge this thing. And let's say you lose it. All right. And if you lose it, you lose it. All right. That kind of stinks. However, let's just say you win the next one. Let's say you challenge a spot, maybe a fourth down spot for the ball, whatever that means. Right. And so maybe, just maybe, you win that one. So now there's another one down the road. So what they're saying is we're going to perpetually delay this game for the greater good of what? Oh, we want to speed the game up. Do we really? Because if they speed the game up, that means there's less sponsors out there. Like in baseball, they're saying, well, let's speed the game up. Right? In football, it seems like they're trying to slow the game down to make more money off of it. I'm not really sure. I mean, the whole thing is a gigantic dumpster fire. So this one here is from milehighreport.com. We're going to go ahead and plug them. They say a proposal from Detroit was accepted to make it so that teams are allowed 3 challenges provided that either of the first 2 is successful. This is exactly what I just told you. This rule will have almost no impact on the game, as they say. Extended use of both informal and formal replay reviews by the officials have made it so that team challenges are relatively infrequently and teams almost never run out of challenges, according to milehighreport.com. They also say, additionally, the cost of a timeout is a sufficient penalty to deter frivolous challenges most of the time. They say they expect this to add at most 1 or 2 challenges a year. And of course, I happen to disagree with that because I don't believe that it's only going to be once or twice a year. That's what the average is going to be, or some garbage like that. To me, that's complete garbage. I don't know about that. Now, there's another rule. The second rule change, this second rule approval is the rule change will also rarely come up, as they say. Previously in the offense, if the offense committed a foul and then, well, you never know, folks. And then, let's go ahead and reload this because it's live and anything can happen. If they commit a foul, all right, so this isn't just a defense thing, so this is also an offensive thing. All right? So if that is the case, if the offense committed a foul and then turned the ball over, the foul was not going to be enforced if the defense then committed a subsequent foul. For example, if the offense made an unnecessary roughness call and then threw an interception, but the defense committed a holding on the return, the unnecessary roughness would not be enforced. Now, personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conduct fouls will still be enforced after a turnover by the offending team. So in the example above, the unnecessary roughness will offset the holding. In both cases, enforcement will be from the spot of the foul, and the defense would keep the ball. This rarely, as they say, will occur because the relevant major fouls rarely occur and most often occur in the process of attempting to make a tackle. Okay, I get that. But how can you say if the offense commits an unnecessary roughness foul, that's essentially like a personal foul in the first place? If they do commit the foul, that's just as bad as the holding. Then you say, well, maybe they cancel each other out. But then again, where do you draw the line? Because an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, it's a personal foul. So why wouldn't you enforce that after the ball is blown dead against the offending team, which is sort of what happens right now? But now they're saying, now we're going to negate it. We don't need that one. Now, do we? This is silly. All right, now, you want to really want to talk about silly? This is where silly really happens. Now, the third rule change is far more interesting, of course, than the other two, and the league has added a rule banning the hip drop tackle. And they say this is a dangerous tackling technique where the tackler grabs the ball carrier and drops his weight onto the carrier's legs. There has been immediate concern from players, especially defenders, that this ban is going to lead up to an endless number of penalties. And of course, that's a valid concern, as they say, though eventually it will be sorted out. All right. I don't know about this. I have a real hard time with this one. So I was talking to Brian Urlacher earlier on the show about this, and I mentioned Tyrone Poole, 2-time Super Bowl champion and American Ninja Warrior. Tyrone Poole, got to make sure you plug Tyrone and work that thing. So Tyrone and I were talking about this earlier. As a little guy, soaking wet, he's about 190 pounds in his playing time. And so as a defensive back, you get a guy like, I don't know, Jerome Bettis. So back when he was playing, the bus was carrying the ball for Pittsburgh. And so here comes the bus. The bus breaks loose. He comes off tackle, and he's running on Tyrone's side of the field, maybe on the right side of the field, whatever. All right, and so here's Tyrone off on an island left to tackle this behemoth of a human. Now, the reality is the only way you're going to bring that dude down is if you wrap his ankles up, or if you're lucky enough to grab around his waist and put your weight on him. Because the only way that you're going to actually be able to put the extra weight on him, on his legs, to bring him down. Now, if you're going to take this penalty away, or if you're going to penalize the player for tackling, and the only real possible way to bring this guy down, if he's not lucky enough to grab his ankles, well, why don't you just let him score every time? What is the goal here? Are they trying to increase scoring? Haven't they done that already enough on the offensive side of the ball with penalties that seem to be magically called against the defense for roughing the passer or, too much bump and run coverage or something like that, like illegal check, whatever, at the line of scrimmage? Right? I don't know. I mean, it's getting to the point when you're watching football, you scratch your head and say, well, what else are they going to do to the defenders to make it harder for them to make a play? And this is the big question that you have to ask yourself as a fan. It almost becomes like, well, why is there even any defense out there in the first place? I mean, if you're going to pull all this crap on the defense, why don't you just let them put like a 12th or 13th guy out there in the first place? I mean, if you're going to have all these other rules, well, at least give them some other bodies that the offense has to run around, because it doesn't make any sense. It just, let's see if these guys can score 50 points a game. And, people like to see all the high-scoring games, but not everybody. Not all people. Some people like to see it. Me, I like a good defensive game. Just like in baseball, I like a 1-0 game, a 2-1 game. I want to see some strategy out there. I don't want to just see an all-out offensive attack that's going to go crazy for the duration of the game. Give me something to say, you know what, they could stop them here. And what happens if they get into the field position game, right? So maybe a team gets stopped up in their own end, maybe within their own 10-yard line. They got to punt the ball from the end zone. Crazy things happen with punts in the end zone. Maybe there's a shank punt, and the punt only comes out to the 40-yard line or 35-yard line, and suddenly the other team's in field position to kick a field goal at least. But end of day, they're making it so even the field position game doesn't even matter. That's the hard part about this to digest. And if you saw the Super Bowl, we saw, well, let's face it, we saw the 49ers go for it on fourth down in a spot where they probably could have done something a little bit different. It doesn't really matter. My point is, the rules are one thing. The officiating is something entirely different that's altering the game. And so now with these new rules, these three rules, this whatever you want to call it, they call it a hip drop tackle. All right, that one alone is going to change the game. The other two, from the timeout thing, it's not really going to change too much. The second one, not really sure about that with the unnecessary roughness calls, whatever. But I think this hip drop tackle thing is going to change a lot of things. And then there was another change, and it had to do with the kickoff. And that's a whole nother discussion. Maybe we'll save that for another, maybe we'll save that for another time. But there's a new kickoff rule, and I'm not so sure I like this kickoff rule here. I don't know, folks. And you ask yourself, they keep tinkering with the game over and over and over. And as they tinker with the game, what are they doing? They're taking away the game that we all know and love as kids. Well, and guess what? And now it's just a different game over and over, right? So now you've got this low impact kick similar to what was used in the XFL. I don't know. Let the game be the game. That's how I look at it. And let the chips fall where they may. So this way we at least have football as we know it instead as we once knew it. Now that seems to make the most sense. All right, folks, we're out of time. And big thanks for the great Brian Urlacher, Pro Football Hall of Famer, for joining us today. Yes! Of course, Brian gets the super applause. And we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Well, I think that's in about maybe 23 hours or so. Until then, so long, everyone.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. That's 800-932-5517.